Alright, so I figure since I'm mostly just walking back to camp right now, maybe just do a general confessional that's not related to my idol search. Um, so, yeah, I mean, yesterday I think it was pretty straightforward what happened when Hassan went home. I don't think that he was too much of a wild card this game to get voted out. Well, right afterwards, he was kind of being a dick about it. So, like, it, I was willing to give him like a real shot this game, and it was too early to tell if he was being too chaotic. So I didn't really vote him out because I wanted him out. I mainly voted him out because in our really small tribe of five, like I just happen to value the other three more. I think Daniel for challenges and connections. I think Abby and Nick for reasons I'll go into now. But like I think that they are super valuable as a core. I think that like one thing about this game is I don't really think I have like any like ride or die duo, and I don't really know that I can like create one. I mean, maybe Daniel can become that. I'll leave that option open, but I don't think I have a ride or die duo. So maybe I can just third wheel my way into this duo of Abby and Nick. And I think that they, like ultimately Quinn and Tristan are smart players, but I think that they would also love to work with their friends Abby and Nick. And so I think that me plus Abby plus Nick plus Quinn plus Tristan, who is probably the least trustworthy of that group, but I still think is maybe more loyal than his reputation, because I think I think his disloyal nature was a little overblown, and he seemed to express like genuine guilt. So I actually think he's more loyal than people give him credit for. But okay, and, so that's a sidetrack. That five out of, I don't know, if all five of us make like a 12-person merge, all we'd have to do is pick up like one or two. You can assume Daniel might come with us early in the early stages. So that puts it at 6. Apparently, Quinn and Van might be working together. I think that seems, if Quinn goes for that alliance, I think that that's the likely alliance to happen, because I think Van's a pretty smart player, but he's not, or he's a pretty smart person, but he's not like a Survivor nerd. So he might not be smart, like he might not come up with that kind of idea of her seeing why him and Quinn would work together. But I think if she laid out a good argument explaining to him why I'd be a good alliance, he would, he's smart enough to receive that and realize that that's actually probably the case. That's probably a great option for him. So I think Van is someone that we pulled in. Musa, Jocelyn, or another group, like we could form like a couples alliance plus me or whatever. Like there are options there. There are a lot of people we can pull in, and obviously starting with an assumed 5, maybe even 6 strong, like is a great position. So that's kind of like what I'm hoping my merge might look like, and which is why I'm currently, I think, more loyal to Abby and Nick than I am to Daniel. So that's kind of where I'm at strategy-wise. One other thing, yesterday when we were walking back from camp, or walking back from the final tribal council we just at, we basically went name by name through the rest of the task, just talking about them. This is partly because like it's, I don't know, it's just good to run through my head like all the players out loud and think about all the possible connections. I think after saying all the names out loud, I think Brandon, Lucas, and Dan would be like a crazy alliance come merge, and I think there's a high likelihood that they would actually come together and realize how crazy them teaming up would be. Maybe too crazy, maybe too powerful, which would be the downside. But like I think those three like actually could run the game together. I think Brandon and Dan are both loyal, like pretty loyal, or loyal image at least. Smart and strategic. I think Lucas is, just like a very, he's like all that except maybe not a hero, but he's definitely smart enough to come to the conclusion that him, Dan, and Brandon could run the game, and those two are loyal enough that they won't burn him early. So I think that like he would come to the conclusion maybe that him, Brandon, and Dan could run the show, and I think that that's just something that could happen, like for real. So that was one conclusion I think that I came up with. Another one is that like those three are really scary names, but there's so many faces that like a champagne crew or blender bunch crew, you know, whatever you want to call it, is gonna have a hard time coming from the majority between Quinn, Tristan, Musa, Jocelyn, as well as Nick and Abby. Like it's just gonna be a hard time for them to get to a majority. So there's a threat level there, but they're very vulnerable early. If I can, be well connected enough with the non-champagners, whatever Discorders, if I can be well connected enough with them, then I could, take them out. So another reason why that's helpful. Okay, sorry, I thought I was coming up on my campsite, but I'm on another one, so I just didn't want anyone to hear me. I'll stop here. Another reason why I think it would be helpful, or thought it was helpful to run through all the names with them yesterday, is because I'm trying to build trust, give them information, like really share a lot with them strategically and make them believe I'm their strategic ally, which I am. But also, and this is something I only realized just now, because yesterday was kind of coming from like a genuine place of just wanting to inform them and become closer allies with them. But like, they haven't heard about anyone's games. I don't think. They could be lying to me and they've looked at the Discord season, that's possible, so I have to be careful around there. But I can tell them, I can shape the narrative on all the other players. I can make them think about other players, what I tell them. So that is something I can keep in mind. I think I'd be very careful with, again, because who knows how much Discord studying they've done. But yeah, I can basically I can make all the other players seem way worse than they actually are, and make them less likely to work with them. I have to be really careful about it, because obviously they know that my perspective is going to be biased. So I have to be like really sneaky about choosing how to lie to them about other players, if I even choose to do it. But choosing, I have to be very careful about how I lie to them about other players and their histories in a way that I can't get caught. But I also think that could be a very useful tool, because, they trust me. I'm the first one telling them the story, and those two factors alone, just are gonna kind of make them believe me and make them accept my story over others a little bit more. All right, I'm going on a tangent, but yeah, I can shape the narratives around other players and really make them want to work with me. So.